world. My name is Nikkiesha McLeod, and you're listening to When We See Each Other, presented by Stereoactive Media. When We See Each Other is a podcast that focuses on music and art by BIPOC, queer, trans, and non-binary artists, as well as artists I've met and known for some time. This week, we're interviewing the amazing rapper Billy Dean Thomas. First, we'll play the track Trust No More from their EP, For Better or Worse, and then we'll dive right into the interview. Here we go.
From the past and I'm future, I got the mommies and cougars flowing tsunami. These rappers robbing me comedy. Call them Martin and Pam Gina. I'm geniuses, man. Stay with the team of the meanest. Really got heaters, no fear. I got a clan stronger than the Ku Klux, and I ain't never backing down, cause I ain't giving two fucks. These venues trying to bring me down, but only offer $2. Done with all that petty cash, now you're asking too much. It's too much. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Nigga, slow yo, bro. No handouts, we don't got no more. So high, so low, so low. Watch friends and foes, I don't trust no more. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nigga, slow yo, bro. No handouts, we don't got no more. So high, so low, so low. Watch friends and foes, I don't trust no more. About to build it with your ratchet ass. Billy Dean, I'm a Don Dada. Stay clean like a bald man, need the Listerine like a green goblin. Spider-Man, no Spider-Man. Best friends that'll take you, man. Booed up like Element. I'ma take your girl, take everything. Hold the fame, fuck the lane. Got an overgo, don't need a chain. Need a name, yeah. Fat black guy, can't stand the rain. Fire flame, ain't kill, propane. And you know I win the race, cause this shit ain't a tie, ho. Yeah, I know that this life ain't nothing, promise time goes. Keep that energy from around me, mean that shit on Bible. 5-0, be the color of my bills, hundo. I'm the head honcho, need the bread brunch on. I ain't stopping till the beats is fucking dead and passed on. R.I.P. the bass heads from the fucking West in California. And my girl get cake like me alone. I'm Hercules with the stone, I'm knowing bad to the bone. Say, whoa, 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 whoa. Nigga, slow yo, bro. No handouts, we don't got no more. So high, so low, so low. Watch friends and foes, I don't trust no more. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nigga, slow yo, bro. No handouts, we don't got no more. So high, so low, so low. Watch friends and foes, I don't trust no more. I never trust, y'all niggas biting the dust. I want my money, you must. I want my pockets to bust, so I just grind, keep all my shit on the hush. Rappers are shitty, I flush. Got a full house, no every cake. 24 hours, I don't get no break, so I can have my house on the lake. I got first dibs on a new crib, I need 2 plaques next to Jay and Big. I want 3 tracks, stack Andre. I need 4 cars, call it 4-play.
You got 5 on it?
I don't blow tree, my job won't promote me. I need 6, 7, or 8, trying to build my 401k. Grind hard for the pay, ay. Never did pay for play, ay. Boston to LA, NYC down to Taipei. Rilla forced it all on play. Damn, that man's a beast, you don't say. Ooh, what you say? I'm the ruler, slick the Rick J. Son, these my seeds I just sprayed. Some cool Febreze first day, numb. Graduate but flow stay dumb. Working hard for vacation. No more games, PlayStation. No bad vibes in my sanctum. I'm gonna run the whole nation. You don't like it, then say something. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nigga, slow yo, bro. No handouts, we don't got no more. So high, so low, so low. Watch friends and foes, I don't trust no more. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nigga, slow yo, bro. No handouts, we don't got no more. So high, so low, so low. Watch friends and foes, I don't trust no more.
Hi, Billy Dean.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to When We See Each Other.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So I wanted to start with a little history. Like, how old were you when you first started rapping and knew that this is what you wanted to do? Yeah.
Wow.
What inspired you?
That's a great question. I think I started rapping before I even knew what it was, maybe around 10. I know I used to listen to a lot of, or overhear rather. I wasn't intentionally listening, but growing up in Harlem, just hearing music out of cars, hearing Biggie blasted when people drive by, etc. I kind of had this inclination whenever I got sad or was feeling emotional to just start writing what I felt. And I started to rhyme words as well. And I remember the first time in high school when I showed somebody my writing, they were just like, "You're writing bars." Like, I don't even think I understood what I was writing until later on. And then I sort of started with the poetry sort of trajectory first, spoken word and performance. And then I got deeper and deeper into recognizing that what I was actually writing was verses and bars.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And do you remember your first rap and what it was about?
Actually, that one rap that I'm thinking about in particular, I definitely was going through a lot of emotions with my mom. And, I used to get really frustrated and feel like I didn't have the words to like tell her exactly why I was angry or why I was upset. And I just remember writing like feeling like something was rumbling in my stomach or like an earthquake when I clenched my hands. Like it was just like some emotional sort of, just like describing what that emotional turbulence, I guess, felt like at the time.
That's pretty deep. So I just want to go ahead and jump in about the album that you're about to release.
Yeah.
By the time this interview airs, you would have dropped your new EP, For Better or Worse, on
Ooh.
October 30th. Can you talk about the themes, what the themes are on the EP? Does it focus on current and social issues like the election?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything sort of encompasses relationships and particularly relationships that have tension. That's definitely something I wanted to kind of inadvertently explore throughout the writing process was like, I'm a part of these spaces like the hip hop community or the Black community, but some aspect of my identity is making people uncomfortable or, is creating a lot of challenge for me in these spaces because of what I look like, how I dress, you know, um, not really being somebody that's easily what I consider, I guess, malleable or like being easily influenced by cis male perspectives in the studio. And so there's a lot of really deep concepts that I get into as far as like the nuances of what that relationship as a queer Black female assigned at birth person.
So would you say you're a politically conscious rapper?
Absolutely. I think I don't really think about it that way, but I think because of the subject matter, just by being who I am, I think it is political, right? Like in so many ways, being Black and queer, whether we want it to be or not, is a political statement, right? That's sort of how things have been socialized to sort of perceive us. So, yeah, I would say that it definitely hits on political in a political realm.
You talk about being Black and queer. How does that really connect with the music that you're creating?
Yeah, I think every step of the process is really impacted by that, especially with when you get down to recording, when you get down to, relationships that you have to build, or being the only non binary person in the room. When you're trying to get your mixes done or when you're trying to get your mastering done and feeling like you're not being heard, or there's like some weird, I don't know, there's just like this almost this like muting that happens of my voice when I'm in certain spaces, even though I know at the same time I'm hyper visible because of how I look and because of what I sort of represent or how I express my gender. So it's a weird hyper visible but invisible sort of situation that happens being a Black queer artist. And also having to do a lot of things on my own because there isn't that solidarity and community of people who want to reach out and want to work with me because I'm not a part of their immediate social group. So, but the flip side, I will say, not to just make it, super sad or anything. I think the great part about it though is that it gives me sort of an endless imagination for what I want to create and what I want to see in the future. And I do have to build you know, just like some sort of ecosystem for myself because, or with my other queer artists because of, being ostracized. So it's dope. Like the response to that is all of these ecosystems are new and get created and we can imagine our own future despite of being pushed out.
You talk about the future. Do you see this changing, the landscape changing, especially under the Trump administration, knowing that they basically are totally against queer and
Right.
trans, non-binary people? Do you see this landscape changing?
Yeah, I think it's changing regardless of who wants it to or not. I think there's no way that you can stop queer, folks of color, trans folks of color from being 100% unapologetically themselves. Like, you can't do that even if you tried. But the systems that try to do that, I think what they're going to recognize is that, one, they have a ton of failed attempts, or there's just going to be a lot more, I guess, activation surrounding movements and people that are going to start actually bringing that response of, anger or, um, I guess, trying to oppose them in a political realm. Like, I'm hoping that more people will start to actually pay attention to who's putting these bills up for votes, who's bringing, you know what I mean? Because it's not just like somebody imagines a law and it happens. There's an entire process that has to happen for certain laws to be enacted. And so I'm just hoping that people can start to really see the many steps that have to be taken, and we can intervene together to like combat those things.
Yeah, I hear you. So just to go back to the EP, what was the process like recording the EP?
Yeah. So it half of the project I actually ended up writing and recording about a year and a half ago. And the other half I recorded and wrote throughout the beginning of the pandemic. So since March. And it's kind of been split down the middle. But what I will say is that, I've had to, like I was saying before, really challenge myself to be multiple people in one, because I have less access to resources. And by resources, I mean people and relationships with people that could potentially help me sort of fine tune my engineering and all of the technical side of the work. So it's been great because I've been learning so much, and I'm becoming a better producer because of it, and a better, sound engineer day by day. But at the same time, I think it really just shed a light on, the divide of people, and just like I'm starting to really see where people's, I guess, true colors lie, if that makes sense, and what's prioritized. Because in a situation like now, you only have energy for but so many things. And so if that's not at the top of your priority list, it's not getting done. And unfortunately, in a lot of places, the queer folks of color are not at the priority level that we need to be at and we should be at. And so, that's been playing a role as well, but I got it done. And like I said, we're still going to get it done. We're still going to show up. We're still going to do it, whether you're listening or not. So I'm really pumped to have finished it despite that. Yeah.
How is this EP different from your previous work?
I think on a creative level, I sort of enacted a process that I never did before, which was that every time I received a new beat or I pulled up a new instrumental, I just pushed record and sort of stream of conscious the first thing that came to my head. And most of those first takes had my whole hooks or the concepts for the songs that are on the project. And I've never done that before. Usually I'm a lot more sort of like logical about it. I think of the concept and then I get really into research and I start almost like scientifically putting it together. But this time I really just wanted my emotions to kind of speak, because things are really heavy and I'm trying to remove so much thought, like the thoughts are what's actually bogging me down. And so I really just wanted to lead with more of like my heart and a spiritual connection.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank
And
you.
so with that said, like what was behind naming the EP For Better or Worse?
That's a good question. Um, so okay, the real answer, there's two answers, but the very candid answer is one that I'm scared to death of putting out new music for all the reasons that artists get self-conscious, right? Like I don't know if people are going to like it. It's going to be different from the last one. And so my partner is just always like, you need to just put it out. Just put the music out, see what people, like. And even if they don't like it, it's not about them. You know what I mean? It's about you putting out the work. And so I was like, you know what, for better or worse, like whatever happens, like we'll just see what happens. And it's odd that it so closely resonates with like the election, with what's going on in the world. Like it's just bizarre how fitting it is in that like sort of uncomfortable not knowing space. And that's exactly how I felt when I named it that. And the other side of it is that there were a lot of people that I worked with in the first part of the project that I no longer work with. And so I was just like, well, I'm just going to put it out and we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see what happens. I'll deal with those issues if I get there, if there are any. And so, yeah, I'm not holding back my ideas anymore, how I feel about things. If somebody or a system has done something to me that, you know, has made me feel uncomfortable or less than, like I'm no longer silencing myself anymore. And that's sort of where it came from.
It's definitely a time where you can't really be quiet about things.
Right.
It's just like you have to go out there and speak up.
Right.
So you touched on a little bit your approach to creating music. Do you have like a particular process you follow, like, while creating? Can you talk about your process for a bit?
Yeah. For this project, the process was really just press play and see what comes out of me or get like naturally. Because I find that, or at least through this process, I found that the first response that my body has to the sounds is generally what's going to resonate probably with everybody else too. You know what I mean? It's just like a natural, instinctive vibe, I guess. And so that was what it was for this. Usually, like I was saying, I do a lot of research. I may think of a concept and then I'm like, okay, well, how does that make me feel? What are the first sort of themes that come to mind when I think about that? And try to relate it with all my five senses. That's something that I do a lot too. And just think about how it resonates with me. What does it feel like? And after that, it's really just about building out my stories, but everything that I write is autobiographical. Like I only talk about things that I've been through. And so that's hard, but it's also really freeing too, because sometimes I need to let go of things. And this is sort of my way to like cleanse myself and also reflect on previous experiences. So it's a lot of free writing. It's a lot of just going with the flow, not thinking as much. But then also sometimes it is about researching or finding those like spirit guides, if you will, that have experienced different things. Like this one song, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. I call it NAP for short, but it stands for N-word ain't perfect. And basically, I was reading an article about Khalees. So Khalees is like incredible for so many reasons and slept on for so many reasons. But basically, I learned through that article that Khalees, one, is from Harlem, like me. Two, is Puerto Rican, like me. And in the article, I found out that her first record, which was like her biggest, she basically didn't really get any money from it because the Neptunes were the only ones that sort of took most of the shares from that works. And she didn't get paid and she never complained about it to them either. And so that for me was like a humongous moment because I was like, wait a second, like, why has this never been discussed? Also, like, why am I just hearing about this or reading this? That was an article that came out, if I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of this year or late last year. And
Yeah, I
that
think I
album was
saw
so
something
long
like
ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's bizarre. So in that reading that article 2 days ago, I pushed play with an instrumental and then it just started coming out in one of the songs and really just talking about that relationship of like people not seeing your value, not sticking up for you, kind of treating you like, you didn't do all the work when you really did, and then taking the credit for the work, but still caring about you enough to not expose that in the same breath. So it's complicated. Like, that's what I talk about on the project. Like, there's a lot of complicated relationships with love, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's tricky.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. So you said that you're from Harlem and you
Yeah.
live in Boston right now. What was the impetus for you to move to Boston?
I actually spent 5 years of my life in Western Mass because I went to Smith College out in Northampton, Mass. And so after I graduated, I had met what then became my first band, and all of them were New England based. One of them lived in Boston. And so, I kind of thought, okay, well, I need to be closer to my band. If I want to actually start playing shows and start traveling, I should be close to them. And so that was a part of the reason. I also, on a whim, auditioned to go to Berklee School of Music here. And I ended up getting into the school. And at the time, I thought I was applying for a master's program. But after I got accepted, I realized there was only an undergraduate program that was available, which they didn't advertise properly on their website. But it's okay. So I still went through that process. I got in, and then I was like, whoa, like I got into Berklee. My band's in Boston. A girl that I was dating at the time, who's now I've been with for 5 years, lives in Boston. So it was like the universe was just pointing me to Boston. And so when I came here, it was really exciting because I was like, all these new prospects, and I ended up just being plugged in with the right people. And it kind of led me to getting grants to make my projects and, really being able to sustain myself artistically.
And how long have you been living in Boston?
I've been here, I think this is my 3rd year.
Can you talk a little bit about the scene there, the music scene, the hip hop scene there?
Yeah, the hip hop scene, and I keep telling everybody this, the one thing that I really respect about the hip hop artists here is that we have had to become cultural producers. And what I mean by that is cultivate our own shows, creating our own ecosystem, finding ways to pay all of our collaborators and almost even like building our own venues because, Boston as a city hasn't really been supportive of hip hop for super long time. And even still today, there's a lot of, just sort of systemic troubles with like booking hip hop acts. And the only people that get to play the major stages here are signed touring acts like, the Kanye Wests and things of that nature. So it's tricky for local up and coming hip hop artists. But again, I feel like they kill it because they're able to like create their own worlds, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And can you recommend any of these artists?
Absolutely. Some of my favorite hip hop artists, Tayshawn Taylor is one of my favorite MCs. I really love the determination and like the work ethic of Cake Swag, who's an MC here. Who else do I really like? Jimmy Kafka kills it, another MC that I really love. Yeah, just to name a few, like they're all really killing it. I mean, the LGBTQ hip hop scene is booming right now. I feel like we're getting a lot of attention, even in the last 2 days. Like there's been a great NPR piece that just got put out about the queer scene here, and there's a ton of hip hop artists like Brandy Blaze, Red Shades, that are killing it. There's so many dope artists that are just kind of pushing themselves, which is really dope.
So I just wanted to know, like, how has the pandemic affected you both personally and as an artist? Especially with the EP coming out, I know that for most artists, they're doing like virtual shows. Are you planning to do any virtual shows to support the EP?
I guess for starters, the pandemic really impacted me personally because I had to find a new place to live. And I think that really coincides even with the music because everything is about space. Everything is about, you know what I mean? Like living space. And I'm really fortunate and grateful that I have been able to find a space that I can even do this interview in right now, because that wouldn't have been possible in the situation that I just left. So I had to physically move, and with my work and virtual shows, I'm actually, to be honest, I'm really not interested in as much of the virtual performances. I just feel like shout out to all the people doing it and doing it successfully. But because I feel like I don't have Erica Badu capabilities to like create my whole world digitally, and make sure that the internet is top notch, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I just feel like there's so much room for error, that I can't control, and I'm a little bit of a control freak. So it's just tricky. I will be participating in other forms of interaction, I guess. Like I like doing Instagram takeovers. I like releasing content. I want to do more lives. Like anything that doesn't require me to do a rehearsed sort of like nonstop show, I think I would probably be more into. Just because delays and lagging, it can really ruin the impact of what you're trying to represent. So it's really hard. It's really hard.
It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So would you say you prefer studio or performing live?
I love the studio.
You do?
Absolutely. Like I love it. It brings me joy. I can be in the studio for so long. I forget to eat. I forget to go to the bathroom. Like that's how real I just like put myself in it 100%. I absolutely love the studio. So yeah, I don't really talk about that much because I don't want people to be like, "Oh, well, Billie Dean doesn't want to perform, so we're not going to book them anymore." But but I do love being in the studio. I like performing when I get to play with my full band, because there's just like having that community on stage and being with your buddies and like exchanging, good energies. I mean, who doesn't want that? That's like an amazing feeling to have. So I love playing with them and performing. But I think when it feels like more independent or like I'm alone on stage, or that's when it starts to get really, it feels a little daunting sometimes. I love being in the studio because it allows me to really like experiment, um, and just play with my voice. I get to, I do a lot of like what they call reverse engineering. I've been trying to get into it more now, but basically, what I mean by that is just like you have your favorite artists, and I do like studying where I'll watch my favorite rappers on different talk shows or doing freestyles and trying to learn different flows. I love to write music also for all different types of genres. So like one of my goals is to be able to produce music, and write songs for R&B artists, write pop songs for other artists, even indie artists. I've actually been leaning more into sort of songwriting for indie artists, as of like a year or two ago. So yeah, I love songwriting. That's really like my favorite aspect of being in the studio, and going from like humming something to then putting words to it and giving it a life and giving it a story. That process is just, it's incredible to watch a voice memo become a 3-minute song.
And you just said that you love writing for other artists. Is that something that you see yourself doing more of in the future, or is that something that you have on the side?
100%. I want to do it a lot more. Like I'm hoping my biggest inspirations in music are the producers, the labyrinths, who else is really like I want to say Quincy Jones, but I'm also like, okay, problematic in a lot of ways too. But like, you know what I mean? But like the folks that are able to write the songs, produce the songs, play some instruments, and share that with another artist to like bring it to life. That's what I definitely want to do as like a career. But I'm hoping that me as an artist first will allow me to get into the door, and then I can start
Branching out.
right. Yeah. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I'm wondering, would you suggest that an artist who loves songwriting goes into the industry as a songwriter first or an artist first? Because there's a lot of, you know, questions about that.
I would say go in as an artist first and see where it takes you. At least that's my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if you have like the ability to do that, to create music for other people, that's a really important skill. That means you're not just section off into one. You're not pigeonholed. You're basically capable of doing different things at the same time.
There's so many things that I feel like I haven't really been to like share with I guess the world or like the people that follow my work. And that's one of those things that I haven't really talked about, is how I do write music for other artists. And like my sister in particular is an R&B artist. She's not really out or putting out music yet, but I've been writing for my sister for years. And who else? Yeah, I mean, I always have songs that I write for other artists. They just don't know yet.
It's gonna be a surprise.
I'm so excited.
So just to shift a little bit, thinking about your influences, I'm curious which artists you get compared to the most and whether you appreciate those comparisons. Also, is there anyone who influenced you that you think people would find surprising?
The two biggest artists that people always compare me to when they see me live, Rage Against the Machine and Run the Jewels. That's like,
Oh, wow.
every 2 days, somebody's like, oh my God, Rage Against the Like, even the other day, I was on a panel and somebody said that to me again. And I was like, did you read my bio? Because that's what's in my bio. And they were like, no, I never seen your bio. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, those two artists. Who else? Sometimes I think my girlfriend just gasses me up, but sometimes she says that I sound like Andre 3000, and I'm like, what? Don't say that, please, because he's like one of my favorite artists. So yeah, those are a couple people that inspire me that you wouldn't expect. I listen to, this is like so in another area, but one of the my favorite artists is actually a classical composer named Ludovico Einaudi, who is incredible. Like, he is so incredible. I listen to his discography when I'm working, and I could play all his, it's like a no skip for me. Like, every song, I'm just like, wow, this is so inspiring and great. I actually want to sample some of his stuff too at some point. But yeah, so this classical composer, he's like my guy. And yeah, that's probably the most random. Nobody would have said.
Yeah, definitely a surprising one. So, how would you say your sound and flow differs from other genre-related artists?
I like to consider myself a vocal drummer. That's sort of like how I developed my my understanding, I guess, of rhyming. It's like from drums. And I actually saw your bio. So I started off as a percussionist too. And I played in an Afro-Caribbean percussive ensemble at 8 years old. And so that was definitely my first introduction into like syncopation before even knowing what any of these fancy words were. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how my brain worked from very young. And now I'm realizing that it has transcended into my writing.
That's totally amazing. So, do you still drum at all?
I do. So right now, because I moved, I don't have space for it. But the last 2 years being in Boston, God bless my neighbors and my roommates, I had my drum set in my bedroom. So I was functioning my rehearsals with a full band next to my bed. And teaching myself drums and or drum set. So I play drums, but I always wanted to get better at drum set. And so yeah, I play drum set. I'm rusty right now, but I do play.
So, do you like try to create your own beats at all?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've been playing beats since I was like producing beats since I was 13.
Oh, wow. Wow. So who would you say is like your favorite artist at the moment?
You know, my favorite artist hasn't changed for several years. But someone who I really get inspired by songwriting wise is Smino. I don't know if you listen to Smino.
No, I don't know who that is.
He is incredible. Like, if you just sit and listen, like, it sounds groovy and you're like into the music because there's just like a swag. He has a swagger, but if you really break down and look at the lyrics, it's unreal how this guy like he turns his words into instruments and he bends them in ways that I haven't heard before. It's like really next level the way he like plays with words and the body of them and in the sound of them. It's just really I admire him a lot.
What's his name again?
Smino, Smino. Yeah.
Smino. I'll definitely check it out. So are you reading anything interesting right now that you can talk about?
Yeah, that's so funny you asked. I just started this week a book named Love and Rage. And it's actually by a Black queer, I don't know, I guess he calls himself a Buddhist. And he really talks about the relationship between, love and rage and how to express and activate yourself from a place of, being more of a visionary as opposed to reactionary with your anger. And especially because I have a lot of anger in general. But especially right now, my therapist actually referred the book to me. And so I just started reading that, and it's really mind-blowing. It's wonderful. He quotes every chapter. There's like a quote from either like a Black activist or a Buddhist teacher. And it's like really beautiful to see those things next to each other, or like those frame of thinking next to each other.
And what are your future plans?
I think definitely trying to reach a state of serenity within myself emotionally and within my music, as well as trying to feel a sense of peace and validation internally, despite what other people gazes are or perspectives are, and just like feeling internally full, if that makes sense, both musically and personally. That's really like my future plan. That's what I need to do spiritually, musically. And I think once I can get to that place, my music will sound, I think it'll really change. And I think I'll be able to explore and play with things that I haven't, because as a new artist, you're always trying to prove yourself. And so what I'm realizing now is like, if I know that I'm good and I believe in what I'm doing and what I'm creating, then stand in that and just share what I want to share, and, really just allow that to speak for itself, if that makes sense.
It definitely does.
So as an artist right now, I'm excited to I'm about to drop a bunch of like Billie Dean Thomas merch. After the project, I'm hoping to work more in commercial TV. Hopefully you'll hear some more of my music on television shows or Netflix. And so I'm trying to manifest that. As well as, like I said, working with other artists. I think those are really going to be my top priorities. TV, production and music, writing for other artists, and stay tuned for some of my new merch that's coming out. Those are like my biggest things right now.
And where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at BillieDeanThomas.com, Billie with a Y. And on Instagram, I'm Billie Dean Thomas. If you just Google Billie Dean Thomas, I'll probably be the first thing to come up on your search engine optimization. So I'm all over the internet.
Awesome. Awesome. And just to end, I'm wondering, can you give us like a few bars?
Yeah, for sure. I could do that. All right. I need a moment to process. Hit a prophet like Nostradamus, but not talking commas. Yeah, you smart, but don't got no common sense. Like Bruce Willis got 6 senses to kill us. I'm seeing ghosts of these rappers when I open up my pen. It's the thought for sustenance. Look at the shit we up against. I got beats abundances. We flowing together like ligaments. And yeah, I'm glad I'm pigmented. Hate the pigs in the system is hella racist. And these white folks hella prejudiced. But what does it mean to flourish? Breaking the trap in our mind. I'm giving the succulence of you nourished. Knowing we all in our prime. We gotta leave our people encouraged. No courage encourage the cowardly dogs, voting and hoping we fall, knowing we more than kicking a ball. Yeah, calling Cape, thought we lost, but you know we ain't. Paid the cost to be boss. James bought with more than us ball. Dang, that don't stop me from scoring, even though we still poor. I'm hustling like Ross, yeah, not Rick Diana. Sexist can't stand them. Showing off for the cameras, but I win a Grammy. Trade a rose for the Phantom. But a flower, not a car. From concrete, so your mind went far. Yeah, time to wake up, get your cake up, shape up for your head get lost.
All right. Yes. Yes. Brilliant. Total brilliant. Like, really. That was so dope, dude.
Thank you.
Like, seriously. Oh my God. Like, love it. Like, seriously.
Thank you.
So that's all that we have today, but it was such a pleasure talking to you.
You too.
And I wish you all the best and all the success. And
thank you.
You're brilliant.
Thank you so much. I wish I could see your face. Hopefully,
I know, right?
At some point in the future, we can have some coffee or some tea or something and kick it. But
yeah,
thank you for having me.
So that was the fabulous Billie Dean Thomas. Aren't they great? So dope talking with them. Once again, their EP, For Better or Worse, dropped on October 30th, and you can find it on all platforms. Now we're gonna play 2 more tracks from the album. First up is Trump versus Biden, and last, Niggers Ain't Perfect. Listen up.
Yeah. Sick and tired of fighting, niggas just wanna do writing. Hopping on autopilot, cause I know we all divided. Half of the homies is riding, we need a better environment. I don't know what are my chances, is it Trump or Biden? Sick and tired of fighting, all of my brothers is dying. People be acting surprised, but none of this shit is surprising. Asking the sky for guidance, we need some better advising. Is it the worst of the worst? Is it Trump or Biden? Is it Trump or Biden? Citizens is divided. We in a war, quit lying. People, we ain't united. Politician a pirate, niggas just stole our island. People misguided, is you with Trump or Biden? I've been thinking I would have to take it to beginning like the birth of nation. White and black are running different races. Light and dark, there's always several faces. See police be on their chases. Racist judges closing several cases. Put us in the box like we need cages. We run like we got loaded bases. How do we get this far? Following many Jafar. Telling me black is king, but the whole world is smart. You want the finer things, I just don't want us to fall. They told me watch my back, so I'm just watching you all. All I know, my confidence is missing. Stuck at home, it's kinda like a prison. Keep it sane, it's not a simple mission. Now I see how we became a Christian. I believe we free predicted. Manifest belief in nothing scripted. Magical, we be my people gifted. Young and black, Nina said religious. Sick and tired of fighting, niggas just wanna do writing. Hopping on autopilot, cause I know we all divided. Half of the homies is riding, we need a better environment. I don't know what are my chances, is it Trump or Biden? Sick and tired of fighting, all of my brothers is dying. People be acting surprised, but none of this shit is surprising. Asking the sky for guidance, we need some better advising. Is it the worst of the worst? Is it Trump or Biden?
Is there a side that you're riding for? Tell me what side are you sliding for? What side do you load up a 9 for? I'm asking, is there anything that you're dying for? All of these niggas is dinosaurs, trying to show me how to walk on the moon. Politicians and who they be lying for. I know y'all see the elephant in the room, but I put an address on it. This country feeling like somebody pawned it. Poverty in the streets and no other options. Fuck racist police, all we see is coffins. All we get is a chicken spot, liquor store, liquor shop. We at war, pick a block, we seen the worst of the worst. Drug money put on the plates in the church. Hustle hard when they get close to the first shit, I'm backing it. Slide through the White House back door with a duffel and a Mac in it. Call it an accident. When I spray up the whole cabinet, put me on the news as a anarchist. But the cops that killed Rihanna playing golf and Dylan Roof got some Burger King. Y'all should be scared of what's gonna happen next when we aim at the flag and we let it ring.
Sick and tired of fighting, niggas just wanna do writing. Hopping on autopilot, cause I know we all divided. Half of the homies is riding, we need a better environment. I don't know what are my chances, is it Trump or Biden? Sick and tired of fighting, all of my brothers is dying. People be acting surprised, but none of this shit is surprising. Asking the sky for guidance, we need some better advising. Is it the worst of the worst? Is it Trump or Biden? Niggas, they get on my nerves. Niggas, they don't know my worth. I'm feeling like I'm your mom's. I don't know why I gave birth. hear the hate in my voice, and I know this shit hurts. I give you so many chances, I know niggas ain't perfect. Yeah, niggas they get on my nerves, niggas they don't know my worth. I'm feeling like I'm your mom's, I don't know why I gave birth. Yeah, I put in all of my time, niggas it hurts me. Yeah, I give you so many chances, I know niggas ain't perfect. Yeah, niggas they get on my nerves, niggas they don't know my worth. I put in all of my time, I don't get what I deserve. Maybe it's cause I'm not thin, maybe I act like a bird. Yeah, maybe it's cause of my skin, maybe it's cause of my words. Yeah, and I do not wear a perm, I am not selling my body like her. So when I speak, they act like they don't hurt. Pray for the weak and I pray they mature. Diamonds do not ever make my shit hurt. They want me going like a side of Shakur. Cause I've been speaking the truth and I'm Xing these rappers out like a young Malcolm is her. A middle child here, my freedom is near. Power they fear, man, you should've listened. Ain't submitting, y'all niggas dummies and I am admitting. I'm calling out like I work in the kitchen, kicking them out like an early dismissal. Treat me like master whipped you. If you get mad, then get a shoe fit you. If you get mad, then get a shoe fit. Niggas they get on my nerves, niggas they don't know my worth. I'm feeling like I'm your mom's, I don't know why I gave birth. Yeah, you hear the hate in my voice, and I know this shit hurts. I give you so many chances, I know niggas ain't perfect. Yeah, niggas they get on my nerves, niggas they don't know my worth. I'm feeling like I'm your mom's, I don't know why I gave birth. Yeah, I put in all of my time, niggas it hurts me. Yeah, I give you so many chances, I know niggas ain't perfect. Yeah,
I hate you so much right now. Yeah, I hate you so much right now.
Hey, Khalees, talking all that. Don't sue me.
I hate you so much right now.
Hey, Khalees,
I hate you so much
don't
right
sue
now.
me. Hey, Khalees, don't sue me. Yo, I'm not a fucking martyr, I'm just fucking fed up. Used to take the martyr, now I'm getting fed up. Cheese Louisa, now I finally found my thumb with Jesus. Pieces ain't gon' save you from the devil. Nothing lasts but the past. Nothing lasts but the past. Nothing lasts but the past. Cause that truth forever say. Rappers playing tricks and now I'm way too clever. Birds they fly together. Chickens run together. Say nothing lasts but the past. Nothing lasts but the past. Nothing lasts but the past. Cause that truth forever, ever.
Thanks for listening to When We See Each Other. I'm your host, Nikkiesha McLeod. This show is produced and edited by Jeremiah McVay. If you like what you hear in this show, please rate and review it in Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that allows that. And please follow us wherever you happen to listen to podcasts. Doing so helps us to expand our audience and is much appreciated. You can find more information about the show at stereoactivemedia.com/whenweseeeachother. And you can get in touch with us at stereoactivemedia@gmail.com. Talk to you later.
This podcast is produced by Stereoactive Media.